So I've decided to make the biggest bet ever on myself and this business. So All-In Content's been around for a few years. For those who know what we do, we batch record content. We make it easy for businesses to show up because we do everything for you, right? We'll prompt you throughout the session, recording, editing, captioning, scheduling that content across your social media. As I've gone through this journey and recorded 10,000 plus, videos over the course of the last couple of years, the business has started to evolve. We've gotten more complex in terms of projects, in terms of clients, and I realized I'm traveling a lot, right? I'm still in the Windsor-Essex region for 99% of what I do. And I'm traveling to everybody, and I looked and I saw, man, I'm putting on the kilometers on my vehicle. It's going quick. And I feel like I'm getting gas nonstop. And it's not probably just because I drive a Jeep either. But I'm like, what is going on? And I realized I have to change my business model. I need to create a space for people to actually come to me versus me going to them. So I said at the hop, I'm making the biggest bet on myself I've ever made in terms of my business. That's what I'm doing. I decided to create a studio. For those who've been following the journey for the last year, you know that I've had access to a studio that, kind of co-built with one of my clients. And over time, I started to realize that, look, we need to do more long-form content. A couple people had used the space and it was tight, right? And it was limited in terms of what we could do with it. And so I needed to find something that was on my own. And I finally have found something. I'm in the process of building it out. And when I unveil it to everybody, I'm very, very excited to share it. It's a space where people can come in and they can do not only just video content. They can do videos, they can do podcasts. We're going to set up a spot for them to ultimately do headshots and take photos as well. It's a content studio, not just a podcast studio. Because there's multiple sets that people can choose between, right? Whether they want to have some like solopreneur kind of sets, they want to have a lounge set, they want to sit around the table. I even got a bar that's made up that people can sit around as well, like a whiskey barrel kind of tabletop bar, which is kind of cool too. So I'm giving people options so that they have a space to create. You don't have to just be a business owner. You could also be a content creator in the city who wants to rent the space to use for yourself. There's multiple ways that you can do it. I know myself at some point, I'm probably going to want to look to host events there so that I could, train people on different aspects of things that we do. At the end of the day, I'm making a massive bet because it's a lot of money. I've committed to a number of years now with this new space. Furnishing it has been a hell of an endeavor. I didn't know how much, I should have known how much furniture was going to cost, but the amount of things that I need to continue to buy, right? Yes, you're buying chairs and couches, and then you're like, I need to buy rugs and accent tables and plants, and all the little background decoration stuff. And then, you know what? I bought stuff that's more I like, but I need to think of more from the customer perspective. And don't get me, even talking about the equipment. More cameras, more microphones, more cables. I got cables everywhere. So I got a lot of cable management stuff that I have to do as well. Like the cost gets bigger and bigger and bigger. What I thought would be maybe a $15,000 to $20,000 project is now becoming a $30,000 to $50,000 project to set this studio up. I'm hoping that it will pay off. I need it to pay off, I should say. But it's a hell of a bet. And that $50,000 that I talk about to furnish and get everything set up doesn't include the cost of all the rent and the additional bills that come with having a property. Again, massive bet on myself and what I do and what I believe in. I'm a guy, it says it here on my shirt, I go all in, right? All in content. So I'm all in on this endeavor in more ways than one. It's scary, but it is something that I've wanted to do since day one. I've wanted to have my own place. It was cool to have access to the studio I did with one of our clients, but when I needed something that was bigger, I needed something that worked better for the clientele that I had and that I knew I could attract. But building this out is the hardest thing I've done. I think it'll be one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. I remember years ago, many, many years ago, before I even had a business, I asked myself, what would I regret not doing? Like if I was 100 years old, what would I do? And I said I wanted to create a business. And so that question eventually led me to doing side hustles and creating, opportunities for myself, meeting the right people to one day have my own business. And I've had my own business now for a number of years. I haven't worked for somebody in, I don't even know how many years it's been, but I'm more happier, more fulfilled, but I've always taken risks. And this is a big one. I believe it'll work out. If it doesn't, it's a painful lesson. But I got to do what's right. I have to take my business to the next level. It gives opportunities, I think, also for both current clients and for new clients with even adjusted pricing. Like, it's actually going to be cheaper for people to work with me in the studio for some of the services that we offer instead of, the prices now. It's going to cost a premium for me to come to you. You come to me, you're going to save a lot of money. Again, I'm changing the business model. Hell of a risk in an economy that's ever changing, and there's always challenges, but I can't see another way that I want to do it. I need to do this. And there's some pain, and financially it's tough. And every time I look, I'm ordering something new because I keep uncovering more and more. I can watch all the YouTube videos in the world from people who are doing this, but I'm doing it my way, and my way might not be what other people would do. And everyone has an opinion, and so I'm trying to block out opinions too. But it's cool to do something that you've never done before. That is hard. But I think on the other side of what's difficult, those moments where you feel uncomfortable is where you grow the most. And I think as a result of shifting my business, the way I'm shifting it, I think the more not only my business will grow, but I'll be able to help other businesses in our region grow too. Stay tuned. I'll be sharing more from the studio once we get more to show and share as we're building this out.